Welcome back to Autism at Home and our series on building flexibility. As I talked about in the last lesson, flexibility is a key life skill and comes in many shapes and forms. Today we will talk about how to teach the skill of waiting. Every person at some point in their life will need to wait for something, be it standing in line to pay for something, waiting at the doctor's office, or for many of our kids, waiting in line at school. It can be really tough for any parent to go about their daily errands and routines when their children find it difficult to wait for things they want, like when waiting to buy a toy at the toy store or even just waiting for milk to be made. Hence, being able to wait is a necessary life skill for any child to learn. Before getting started teaching a child how to wait, we need to think about how to break the skill down into steps. In the introduction video to this series, we touched on the concept of building up the ability to tolerate a situation. When it comes to waiting, there will be a few aspects of tolerance. The actual gradual ability to wait for a longer and longer period of time. For example, a shorter line versus a very long line, or like waiting in a Kuala Lumpur traffic jam. The ability to wait for more preferred or favorite items. For example, waiting to see the doctor versus waiting to go to the swimming pool. And also the ability to generalize the skill of waiting in different and possibly more challenging environments. For example, waiting in the comfort of an air-conditioned room versus waiting in the hot, humid sun of our tropical Malaysia. Some questions to think about when breaking the skill of waiting down include thinking about where your child's threshold is. For example, if your child is only able to wait up to 10 seconds, then starting from 5 or 8 seconds may be more successful. However, some children who can wait up to 5 minutes could start a little bit before 5 minutes. Some children may even have to start from just 1 to 2 seconds for a start. Secondly, reflect and ask yourself if there are some things or situations your child may find harder to wait for than others. For example, maybe they sort of like puzzles, quite like playing with blocks, but their favorite item is screen time. Then you may need to start by waiting for less preferred items first before moving on to the more preferred items. So for example, waiting for 5 seconds for puzzles, then blocks, and then only the phone. Here is a simple example of how to break the skill of waiting into steps. In this scenario, we're teaching the general skill of waiting. But as I said before, a child may need to practice longer durations with items that are easier to wait for before harder items. To begin teaching the wait program, these are the materials you will need: a wait visual, a box to stick the visual on, a timer, a wait social story, and an item to wait for. You can download the free social story and visual in the Autism at Home article or create your own specific to your child. Here's how to get started teaching the wait program. First, read the social story to your child about waiting. This is optional, and we have taught some younger children without the social story. Second, present an item your child would want. Put it in the box with the wait visual saying, "Let's wait," and start the timer. Your child should wait at their seat without attempting to reach for and grab the item. When the timer beeps, say, "Good waiting," and reward them immediately with the item. Let them play with the reward for 1 to 2 minutes and try and do this whole routine another 1 or 2 more times to get more practice in. Now let's see that in action after the adult has read the social story.
Hey buddy, look what I have! Play-Doh! Okay, but Play-Doh's gonna wait, okay? Wait for 5 seconds, alright? 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hey, good waiting! Here you go!
When giving the instruction, "Let's wait," it is good to pair the instruction with a hand gesture like this, so the child has a second visual reminder. This makes it easier to fade off the use of the printed visual, and you can use the hand gesture more naturally when in the community. in the event your child was not able to wait for the duration you were practicing at, be careful not to let them get to the toy anyways. Keep them from getting the toy and say very calmly, "No, try again," then follow through until the time is finished. If they were able to wait till the end, they can still get the reward, but perhaps for a shorter duration than they would have gotten if they had waited nicely the whole way. Here's how that would look like.
Hey buddy, look what I have. We've got some Play-Doh. Ta-da! Okay buddy, but Play-Doh's gonna wait, alright? Gonna wait for 10 seconds, okay? Oh, let's try again, buddy. Play-Doh's gonna wait in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, nice try waiting. Can have it for 1 minute.
Now here are some tips to make the process of teaching waiting more successful, both for you and your child. Tip 1. Occupy them. It would be unrealistic to expect any child to simply sit for a long duration and wait without anything to occupy them. Even as adults, we tend to take our phone out and scroll through social media the moment we're stuck in a line waiting for something. As the duration for waiting becomes longer and longer, such as beyond 30 seconds, try occupying your child with a simple activity or play with them while they are waiting. Make sure, though, that the activity is not more motivating than the item they are waiting for. If you do use this strategy, though, it is important your child does not think that they are being rewarded for the activity they simply use to occupy themselves. Which brings us to tip number 2. Praise the waiting. It is good to specifically praise your child for waiting at intervals so they know they are still waiting for that item, like this.
Yeah, good job. We're still waiting. We're waiting for the snow spray. 30 more seconds. Good waiting.
You could also ensure the activity you give them does not occupy the full duration, such that there is still some time left for them to wait. Like this.
Hey, good job. Yeah, we're still waiting for the snow spray. Oh, you're done. Okay, well, we've got 5 more seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Alright, good waiting, buddy. Alright, shall we play snow spray? 3, 2, and 1.
Once your child becomes good at waiting at the table with the wait visual, try asking them to wait around the house without the visual or timer. Mommy.
Oh, you want mommy to come play you? Okay, just wait 1 minute, okay? 1 minute, then mommy will come.
And finally, always teach the skill of waiting with the aim of eventually practicing it in the natural situations your child finds it hard to wait, like shopping malls, theme parks, or the toy store. Do remember, though, that in a more challenging situation, you may need to simplify the expectation to a shorter duration of time initially and then gradually build it up again. And one last tip is to use visuals and calendars if your child is waiting for something that takes a particularly long time, such as birthdays and Christmas or holidays. Counting down the calendar gives predictability and builds anticipation. So that's it on how to teach waiting to your child. Remember, waiting is a lifelong skill, and there will always be situations your child may find it harder to wait, even when they have practiced this skill. Practice this skill regularly whenever and wherever you can throughout the day to keep the memory and skill of waiting fresh in your child's mind. And of course, always have plenty of praise and reinforcement ready. Now it's your turn. Write your own items list for waiting. What is the maximum duration your child can wait till? Do you need to start with the less preferred items before moving on to preferred items? Your list items could look like this, or this, or this, depending on your child's needs. And of course, once you've got that, get started practicing waiting. We hope this lesson was helpful to you in getting started on teaching your child the skill of waiting. Once your child has a strong basis in waiting, the next lesson may be relevant to them, particularly for children growing up with siblings, taking turns and sharing. If you haven't already, do check out our free online resource platform, Autism at Home, which has all the corresponding articles and necessary downloadables for you. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Instagram and Facebook to stay updated. We will see you next time on Autism at Home.